Hello guys and welcome back. Happy New Year to you all. Hope you're well and keeping sane. Yes, not safe, sane, because I think keeping sane is a little bit more of a priority nowadays than keeping safe, although that doesn't really make sense. But you can understand where I'm coming from in the world we live in today. Now, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone that supported me in the back end of 2020. Well, just in general, everyone that supported me. Unfortunately, we didn't get to 1,000 subscribers at the end of the year, but it's not to worry because it's slowly still growing now, and we're getting ever nearer to that 1K. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I really do appreciate it. Now, to keep this intro short and sweet, today's video is something that I filmed a long time ago with a good friend. Well, he's not really a good friend, he's actually like one of my best friends, Aaron from Car Obsession. He's also a fellow automotive content creator and my co-host on Car Chatters, a podcast that we filmed quite a bit last year and the year before. So yeah, he came down in his new SEAT Leon Cupra that he bought during lockdown pretty much last year, and he took the plunge to go and get it remapped at AMD in Thurrock, and of course AMD Thurrock is in my neck of the woods, so he came down, stayed the night, got the car tuned the day before, and then on the day that we filmed, that you will see, he let me have a go. Very privileged, an awesome car, really is. Even didn't get to drive it without the map, but with the remap it has absolutely transformed it. It pretty much gives, I'd say, any hot hatch of today on the current market a run for its money. So yeah, Aaron obviously let me have a go. The video wasn't detailed a lot. It was just me and him sitting in the car, just chatting about it and then just getting my first thoughts of the car. So hopefully in the near future, when I see him again, we'll be able to do some maybe twin tests with another hot hatch. Obviously you guys can feel free to leave in the comments what you'd like to see. But yeah, it was an awesome video, and obviously yeah, it was filmed amongst all the chaos last year. So I've not been feeling the greatest in terms of mentally. So I just haven't had the motivation or the courage to just get on editing. I've been trying to do all sorts of other things. But before we get on to today's video, I'd just like to say a big shout out to another sponsor. Yes, I know, I've managed to finesse another brand deal. How have I done that? I don't even know how I've done that. But today's sponsor is SURFSHARK. Now, if you don't know who SURFSHARK are, well, where have you been? Because SURFSHARK are one of the leading market leading VPN services in the world, not just in the UK, in the world. Now, to dumb down what a VPN is, pretty much a VPN is your saving grace, because in the UK, however, ISPs, internet service providers, by law have to record all your service, internet service history. So anything you do on the web, they track it. And that means that the ISPs then will sell on your information to third parties, and then your life's ruined because you just get cold calls and all sorts of stuff, and we don't want that. Whereas with the VPN, SURFSHARK, they can protect you from that. So you can do whatever you want and your internet service provider will know none of the wiser. Now, not only do they protect your privacy, you can also unlock regional content out of your area. So for me, I live in the UK, so I use things like Netflix and Amazon Prime, but during all these times, I've pretty much completed Netflix, so it's getting a bit boring. But with SURFSHARK, I can change countries, i.e. to the United States or to Canada, and then I can unlock even more content, and it's crazy, it really is, and it's literally a click of a button. Now, today I'm offering you guys over 80% off SURFSHARK's VPN service. All you have to do is just go down in the description below, click a link, and it will take you to SURFSHARK's deal, which I've given you guys, and there you have it. You subscribe for 24 months, and also there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy with a service or it's not for you, within the 30 days you can get your money back. So it really is, yeah, a no-brainer if you ask me. And yeah, as I said, if you click the link below, you of course give back to me. And obviously I'm giving to you as well, so it's just a win-win for everyone. But yeah, without you guys it wouldn't be possible, so big thanks to everyone. Now enjoy, really do enjoy it, because yeah, I don't know when the next video is going to come, but it's coming soon. If you guys would like to see anything, please do leave in the comments. I've got stuff coming up with the 335D, of course the new car reveal. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know what it is, so I'm looking forward to start filming that. And then I've got some collabs coming with a fellow content creators that I haven't seen in ages, and of course once we're out of all this mess, I will be linking up with them. But yeah, enough of the waffle. Enjoy. Thank you very much. Now, from the get-go, I have to say, like, you get a really nice like mechanical feel. The throttles are very responsive, and I only imagine that that's got better with the remap.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just even like it's good in gear. Like when you're going through the gears, it's like it's almost like you don't need to drop down a gear to find like the more revs. It's just whatever gear you're in. Obviously, you usually get that with turbocharged cars, but yeah, no, this is definitely awesome. So obviously you've done the remap at AMD, and got really good gains out of it, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, almost too good for the sake of the touch. It's too much.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm actually trying to get used to it. It's quite a weird clutch. It almost feels like it's heavy, but it's not. Like when I come back off the clutch, it feels like not sticky as such, but
it's quite a firm clutch anyway.
Yeah.
But I definitely think the clutch has got a bit heavier.
Yeah.
And that's why I think my left knee is like aching like anything right now. Just sat here, just almost writhing in pain because my left knee is cramping up something chronic.
But obviously you've not just done the remap, you've done an exhaust as well.
Oh yeah.
And that's I think it's a Cobra catback, isn't it?
Yeah, Cobra catback, non-resonated.
Yeah. So obviously that's the louder of the two, which is quite surprising because I remember you speaking to me about it and saying, yeah, I don't know what to do, because when you look up exhaust online, it's hard to kind of get an idea of what they sound like.
Exactly, yeah.
The sound is only as good as someone's camera or mic setup,
and as good as your speakers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always a risk, obviously, getting an exhaust, an aftermarket exhaust, unless you've heard someone with the same car with the exact same exhaust you're after.
Yeah, in real life.
Yeah. Because there are companies where they can design custom exhaust and you can tell them how you want it to sound. Yeah. Which is quite, I can't quite believe it. You go, I want it to sound raspy, but not too drony, and then they apparently design it for you in that way.
Yeah.
It's quite weird, but apparently it works. So.
I'm not too sure if I'd want to have an exhaust fabricated for me, because if you're giving them your kind of design brief, and you get it and you're disappointed, you just feel like you've paid a lot of money for nothing. At least something like this, I had a good idea of what it would sound like.
Yeah.
Of course, as you said a few moments ago, Chris, when you're watching a video online, it doesn't give you a true representation, but it gives you an idea. Yeah,
exactly. And it's sort of, you know what you're getting with this. It's not, you know what you're getting. Whereas something getting fabricated, you're sort of, the result may be good, but in reality it might not be as good as you was actually thinking it to be. So
yeah.
And did they put the exhaust on when you did the dyno stock, or did they do it after stock?
No, the exhaust was the very first thing they did.
What? So they dynoed it stock with the new exhaust?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So did they say it was a contributing factor to why you got a little bit more power, or
no?
Or
but to be honest, with the catback system, it probably won't be.
Yeah, true.
So turbo backpack system, you're more likely to see some form of gains, albeit they're not going to be massive, are they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I very much doubt the catback would have made any difference. And even if it was a bit more power,
brakes.
Even if it was a bit more power, it wouldn't really be enough to really be worth. It wouldn't be worth documenting it, really, would it?
Yeah.
But the exhaust was more for the sound and then the performance.
Yeah. And you got eye-back lowering springs on this, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So I've got the.
Is it sport lines? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. And the ride, I like the ride's actually real, because you obviously say it's on not the firm side, but you said it's like obviously any hot hatch you buy, you're going to be quite. It's going to be quite hard to find something that rides like a Rolls Royce almost.
Yeah, and I think you'd have to be a bit of an idiot to really moan about the ride of a hot hatch, unless it's something like super firm. But obviously most hot hatches, they are going to have a firmer ride that is inherent, really.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can definitely feel it slipping there.
Yeah.
This thing is awesome. And then goes through a corner. Oh, because this is quite a big car.
The handling's pretty good, isn't
awesome.
it?
Jesus Christ.
But the brakes are monstrous, aren't they?
They are wicked.
They're so good.
It's almost like they've been over-engineered for the cars.
Yeah, I think they probably have. Because originally, now I don't know how true this is because I read this on forums, and obviously some stuff on forums you have to take with
it or leave
with a pinch of salt. Yeah. But apparently when this car was in development, they tried it with Brembo pads and discs, but the discs kept warping. Yeah. So they had to, in the end, they had to go with the same setup as used on the R32 and the S3 of this generation.
Because what are they? Are they calipers, or are they like four piston calipers? Or
I think I'm pretty sure they're 4-piston calipers. Yeah.
So they're not. Do you know like the make of them? They're not Brembos, then, are they?
They're not Brembo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this thing is insane, mate.
Yeah.
Sure does shift. As I said before, that's why I love stage 1 maps, because if you don't want to go too mad with mod like power wise, it just gives you a little bit more. Really, it's lovely, mate. The engine's sweet as well. It's so smooth.
It's a nice engine. Well, the power beforehand when it was stock, I wouldn't say the power delivery was spiky, or particularly boosty, but the map has definitely made it more smoother and more linear. Which to some of you watching, you may think, why do you want your remap to be smooth? You want it to be aggressive and rah. You want it to feel like dramatic.
Yeah, but with a front wheel drive car, it's no good it being all down at the low range, because you're just going to eat in tyres and
exactly.
It's going to be a bit useless, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's nice because the power is quite progressive. Yeah. It doesn't all creep up on you in one big hit like the old school turbocharged cars. Yeah. You know, when I drove an old Mitsubishi Evo.
So we're going to go through the gears now. Second, third. Jesus Christ. Wow. That is some speed.
How's the clutch then?
Yeah, it was actually not too bad.
But it's weird. Sometimes it slips, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it's obviously something I will look to. It's a problem I will look to address.
Because this uses the bigger turbo of the RAG range in this obviously generation, isn't it?
So this is the K04,
which is quite weird because you'd think that they'd use it in the GTI, which I think didn't they use it in like the 30th anniversary or did they?
So the Edition 30 uses the same turbocharger as this, but despite that, it's still a little less powerful. Okay, we're talking 10 horsepower. Yeah, which is nothing. But nothing, this is 240.
But even then, it's still weird to think that the SEAT is the quicker car of the Volkswagen. Seems strange, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Edition 30 was 230 horsepower.
Yeah. And then you think that the 30th anniversary Golf GTI was like the last hurrah to that generation, whereas this wasn't, because they did the Cupra R afterwards, didn't they?
Exactly. That was.
Did they use the same? So the Cupra to the Cupra R, they use the same engine, everything, didn't they?
I think it's got a different engine code.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's still a 2-litre turbocharged petrol.
So you don't know if there's any like uprated stuff on the engine?
There probably is. I believe it uses the same turbocharger, but don't quote me on that. So before somebody go, oh, you got it wrong, I don't know for certain. So that's why.
Because they actually use these turbos on like the Fiesta ST hybrids now.
Oh, do they?
They take like they take the engineering of it and they put it into.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because apparently the ones on the ST originally aren't as strong as a K04 infrastructure turbo. So yeah. But yeah, this thing is awesome. So I'm in 6th gear now. Put your foot down. Oh,
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not over the top as well. Honestly, I love it. It is a really good car, and of course you're going to use it as a family car, which is people think really you can use it as a family car, but that's the whole point of a practical hot hatch.
Exactly. Exactly. People may say, well, why are you using a stage 1 modified hot hatchback as your family car? Yeah. It's like, but on the same hand, I could go out. Well, I don't have the money, but if I were to go out and buy a BMW M5, I know you can't compare those two cars. But my point is, that's a practical car that's very fast. But if someone wanted to buy that and use it as a family daily, you wouldn't think twice, would you?
Jesus.
Fudge me.
What? Oh. Good thing we've gone to Mexico. That is insane.
Yeah.
How's that? Oh my god, that is mental. And what's this? Is this limited to 155? What's the top speed in this?
No, so I think the top speed is God. Normally I'd know it's off the top of my head. I think it's 153.
Oh, okay.
But again, don't quote me out. I'm tired. Leave me alone. Give me a break. No, I think it's around the 150 mile per hour mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not limited as such.
God, this is absolutely insane. And this is a 13-year-old car, guys.
Yeah.
And this is as quick as an Mk8 Civic Type R out of the box. Of course.
Power-wise.
It's not going to handle as well.
No.
Because that Mk8 is insane. It is honestly insane.
Nothing really gets that close to it.
Yeah. But this is mental.
But I think about this is brake horsepower-wise. Okay, some of you will say, "Well, how do you know the dyno's 100% correct?" But let's go off the numbers that have been given to me. Right?
Yeah.
So this is more powerful than a Golf R.
It's mental, isn't it?
And it's front-wheel drive.
Yeah. Because that's strange as well. Because even like the previous generation Leon Cupra still was front-wheel drive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They never did it.
No, hang on, no. You can get it in four-wheel drive.
Oh, really?
Yes, but that's for the estate.
Ah, I see.
Well, at least in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't get the hatchback in four-wheel drive. You might be able to on the continent, but in the UK, no, you can get it all-wheel drive, but that's the estate.
Yeah.
It kind of makes more sense because it's more practical and it makes it more usable and more versatile.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, this is more powerful than a brand new Cupra.
But it's mad to think that you could do a turbo, uprated turbo, and you can get like 500 brake out of these things.
Yeah.
Why you would, I don't know, but it's
I'll tell you one thing I'd love to do if I had unlimited money.
Yeah.
Some of you think I'm mad, and you'll probably say, well, why not just buy an RS3? But I'd love to get the 2.5 litre 5-cylinder TFSI engine and drop it in this. I'd love that.
That'd be mad.
But yeah, a lot of people would argue it's pointless because just go out and buy an RS3.
Yeah, but to be fair, everyone does like these unique builds that you just go, well, why didn't you just do it? Why didn't you just buy this? Or
imagine starting this up and you just hear that lovely 5-cylinder warble. Oh, hang on a minute, that ain't standard.
Yeah. But would you, even if you wasn't like using this as a family car as such, would you go more like batshit crazy with it, or would you kind of still leave it?
Nah, not really, because as I said earlier, it's plenty for the public road, more than what you need for the public road, to be honest.
Yeah, because this shows as well, because this is the first time you've ever remapped a car. Yeah, really as well, because you would have only really easily been able to map your Ibiza when you had that. Because everything else has been naturally aspirated and you don't really get much out of an N8 car.
No.
Honestly, turbocharged cars are crazy.
Speaking of M5s, there we are. How's that for a coincidence?
But yeah, cars these days, like even like BMW, like M3, M4s, like the gains you can get out of them just putting a remap on them.
Yeah.
It's like 100 brake gain on a just a stage 1 remap.
Yeah. Well,
it's just absolutely mental.
My manager, he's got a 440i and he keeps playing about with the idea of remapping it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the numbers were, but they were like, for stage 1, the numbers were just really impressive.
Yeah. So even with the R335D, you can get like 80 to 90 brake horsepower gain and then like 120 newton meters more on just a map.
Just at stage 1?
Yeah. And you think you're paying like £300-400 for it. It's like...
It's not bad, is it?
Money well spent, isn't it, really?
Well,
for what you're getting.
This remap cost me 200 quid.
It's just a no-brainer, isn't it?
No, exactly.
Really, that's the thing I love about this car even more so, is that you can go mad in it if you want to, and then you can dial it back down and just drive normally and do national speed limit on an A road, and the ride's lovely, it really does.
And because the exterior is unchanged, like it's been lowered, which is a good thing because
yeah, people think is that people carry it or whatever it is.
They're outplayer. But the thing is, when I lowered it, I kind of stepped back. I thought I can't see a massive difference, and then I got a before and after picture side on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my word! Beforehand, it's like an SUV.
Yeah. To be fair, I noticed a big difference when you lowered it. It does look a lot better.
But my point is, it still looks relatively stock, so it is a bit of a sleeper. Because the styling of this car is quite reserved.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't scream hot hatch.
No.
You can get the K1 body kits for these, which makes it look more sporty.
I do like a K1.
Gives it that more BTCC vibe.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the
yeah,
K1
I know. You said this at the start as well.
I think I like the back of it. I think it's just the front.
Yeah.
Because the front bumper's quite chunky, it makes the car look like it's got a swollen lip. Looks like it's been punched in the face.
Yeah. That's the thing, like with aftermarket stuff for this, like it's very hard to make the front look better.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to hide it almost.
Yeah.
But I think when you first picked it up, I liked it from the get-go. When you're following me back, and you look at it in the mirror, it's quite menacing on the road. How its presence is, because it's quite wide on the side, doesn't it?
I think this car looks better when it's moving compared to when
yeah, especially when you're going really quick. You don't see it.
Yeah. What was that?
Yeah, no, this thing is it's awesome.
What do you think of the gear change?
It's a little bit notchy.
Yeah.
I would say,
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It is a little bit long. I will look to get a short shifter at some point.
Yeah.
For the sake of I think it's about 100 quid. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, just makes the driving experience a bit better, doesn't it?
But it's not a bad gear change. Not as good as the Type R, of course, but the Type R just.
Oh, that thing.
Everything about gear change was legendary.
Yeah. The only thing you can really thought about that thing was the infotainment, really.
Well, it's not much better in here, is it?
No.
To be honest.
No. It's a bit plasticky in there, isn't it?
Yeah. It is definitely not on par with the Golf. But you wonder why this is cheaper. Then you get inside and think, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, these cars, the cars in this gen, like even the EP3, like the interior in that's like woeful at best, really. Yeah. But you're not paying for that. You're paying for the development of what they've done on the drivetrain and the engine and stuff.
I'd rather have a car that drives really nicely and it's got a good amount of performance. Yeah. As opposed to one that's got a really nice
you say that
interior.
About the interior, I love these seats. I think
these seats are
really
wicked.
Comfy.
Yeah, they look good as well.
Yeah, really are.
And they're low slung.
Yeah,
which I think,
you do sit really low in this as well.
Yeah, I think for quite a few hot hatchbacks of this generation, of this kind of age, it's not particularly the fast Fords.
Yeah,
you get in them and you think, a bit high up. But the weird thing is, the Ibiza I had was the same kind of age as this. And the seating position in that, I know it's a different car and a different platform, but it was like driving an SUV. Getting it, thinking, wow, my head's in the skies.
Especially it being a smaller car as well.
Yeah. So when I dropped myself into this, I was pleasantly surprised because I thought this would be quite a high driving position as well, but no, it's not.
But was that more because yours was an FR, wasn't it? Like your Ibiza, whereas this is a Cupra, isn't it? So do you think that? Did they do it? Did they do an Ibiza Cupra?
They did. I was very close to buying one.
Yeah. And what was the difference between that and your FR? Did it have the same engine but just quicker, or did it have a 2 litre in it?
No, now you're asking. This is years ago.
I really like that Mark 1 Ibiza Cupra he went out in. I like that. I really do like that.
Yeah, well, as a lot of people said, that's not the very first Ibiza Cupra, which is technically correct, but the first Ibiza Cupra was called the Cupra Sport GTI. It had quite a long name, and it wasn't turbocharged. Yeah, but anyway.
So you could argue it's not really a Cupra then, could you?
Well, that's kind of my logic, but some people didn't like that. But my generation Ibiza Cupra, that was pushing out about 200 horsepower.
Really?
From stock. No, that was it. So I can't Google anything, so we've got our phones on flight mode, but
because it had a 1.8 turbo as well, didn't it? Or did it not?
Honestly, mate, I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think. Well, I wouldn't have thought it would have been a 2 litre. So obviously that would have. The Leon choose the 2 litre. Well, this I hardly see any of these on the road, but I don't even ever see like older generations of the Ibiza, like Cupras or anything. Like
even FRs. I don't really see much.
You'll see a few Mark 1 Leon Cupra R's knocking about. Yeah. And I was close to buying one, but it's just an older car on an older platform.
Because what's the common issues with this? Because there wasn't actually that many things that go wrong with this. Really.
The coil packs can be quite chocolatey. Yeah. But that was a problem that my Ibiza had. Yeah. And in fact, whilst I had the Ibiza, I had to change a coil pack. They can go through thermostats or coolant temperature sensors. Again, my
Ibiza did that.
My Ibiza, I think I changed the coolant temp. Well, not me personally, but I had the coolant temperature sensor changed twice. I think whilst my dad's owned it, it's gone again. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just eats them. Just another one, please. That was delicious. More.
But they're relatively inexpensive, though.
Exactly. And the ignition coils again. Yeah. They're relatively inexpensive and cheap to fix. So yeah, I did it myself, and I'm not the most mechanically minded person. Yeah. As long as you know what you're doing, I think anyone could change that kind of item themselves.
Because obviously, when you had this remapped, you did a few changes, didn't you? Because obviously you get recommended for a few bits even on a stage 1. Yeah, which is quite surprising actually.
I changed the PCV valve. Yeah. Because the one that was on the car was the original one. I know that because it was date stamped 2006. Oh, okay. A few tuners do recommend replacing the diverter valve, but I spoke with one of my guys at work, and he said, well, I can't really see the need for that to be replaced. It's electronically controlled, and in all honesty, a map would really affect its performance. Yeah. So I didn't change that, but the PCV valve, because it was cheap and it's virtually a 5-10 minute fix, I thought, well, for the sake of that, I may as well do it. And yeah, the same guy I spoke to, one of the mechanics at work, he said, yeah, I can see an argument for changing the PCV valve because you're going to have more pressure in the crankcase. That makes sense, but he said that the diverter valve probably not worth your time. Yeah. And the cam follower, again, I did the cam follower myself.
It's all relatively easy things, like certain times to do, isn't it?
I'd say the cam follower is a little bit more advanced than doing the PCV valve, but again, as long as you know what you're doing and you follow the instructions, the only thing you need to worry about is just making sure you don't get fuel sprayed all in your engine bay. So you've got a Schrader valve, and you just need to release some of the pressure. Yeah. And you have some bit of fuel spray out.
Is there anything you can do to make the steering a little bit more positive? I just find that when you're going when you're going quick into a corner, you're sort of second guessing.
Tram lining?
No, you're second guessing how much steering you need. I think it's because obviously this being electrically assisted. Yeah. You sort of get that very loose feel when you're going fast into a corner. You sort of giving it some angle, and then you need more. But the time you need more, it's a bit late to correct it almost.
Yeah. I can't really think of anything obvious, to be honest.
Yeah. I think you could probably get away with not even needing a diff. I mean,
do you reckon?
Yeah, it's very tricky because this being front-wheel drive, you can't. There's going to be to a certain limit where even without it being mapped, you're going to get understeer at some point. So the car has always got a limit. But because of how quick this thing is now, it's kind of you've got to take a brave pill to try and find its limit.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
No, this is definitely awesome, mate. I have to say, it's definitely a good choice of car. Yeah, it really is. It's a shame, really, because Seat is a sort of an underdog to not as much so as a Skoda, but
yeah, even now, Seat's done really well in the last few years. I think a large part of that is the car's design. Yeah. Obviously, this is not a particularly attractive car in my opinion. But
the Mark 3 is lovely. I like the
and Seat have really excelled on the technology and the infotainment system. Yeah. It's really, really good actually. Yeah. But even now, although Seat has made more of a name of itself in recent years, still think it's an underdog. Let's put it this way: at my work, for those of you that don't follow my channel, I work in a car repair garage, which is a German car specialist, and the amount of Golf GTIs we get in, not so many Golf R's, but We get a few Golfs in, a few like Audi S3s, that kind of thing, but we rarely get a Leon Cupra. In fact, we had one in yesterday, a Mark 3, and that was, yeah, that's only the second Leon Cupra we've had in whilst I've been there, and I've been there a year. Wow. And oh look, S3, another weird coincidence. And the Cupra we had in, the other Cupra we had in, which was quite a long time ago, was a Mark 1 Cupra R.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why people don't buy them. I think it's just badge number 8.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's annoying because these are really good cars, and okay, the Mark 2 isn't much of a looker, and the Mk5 Golf GTI is a more handsome car, and it's great because it's classless. You can park it anywhere, whether it's outside Morrison's or Monte Carlo, and it wouldn't look out of place. No, that is the beauty of the Golf, but because of that, they're, I wouldn't say they're boring, but it's a case of a Golf is a Golf.
Sort of like they had a meeting and they said, well, we're going to get the looks, but you'll get the bigger turbo and stuff like that. So it's
exactly.
No, honestly, I really do like this.
Yeah, I didn't really want the Golf because I just felt it was a safe option. And yes, I know this car is based on a Golf, but my point is, it is based on a Golf, but it's a bit more spicy.
Yeah, definitely. But I think with just obviously because I didn't really experience it standard, but with just this remap and the aftermarket exhaust, it has really transformed the car.
Yeah,
it really has.
It sounds glorious. It sounds better than before. The stock exhaust isn't bad. It can make a decent noise when you push it.
Yeah, bit of slip there.
Bit of slip.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, the exhaust was much like the exterior styling, quite reserved, subtle, understated.
Yeah.
Almost as if it was going, sorry, I don't want to disturb anyone, but I'm a hot hatch, just wanted to let you know. Whereas I don't like my hot hatches to be like crazy and in your face, but at the same time, I want it to sound like a hot hatch should.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I think now it does.
No, it's lovely. Well, congrats again, brother. This is a lovely car. It really is. It isn't a JDM EP3 Civic Type R, but
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, mate.
Bad.
It isn't bad. And on that note, I'm going to end today's video. Big thank you to my man here for letting me drive the car.
No worries, mate.
Honestly, it's a wicked thing, and yeah, congrats once again, because yeah, it's a tricky thing when you're replacing a car, because
very tricky.
It's the Civic Type R was a very good car, and there was things that didn't have practicality, like it didn't have 5 doors and stuff like that. So it made giving it up, obviously, that little bit more easier, didn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of things that. Because you were originally looking at a Mark 2 ST. We won't go too much into it.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are 3 doors, because obviously they made at that point they made them either in 3 door or 5 door, and a lot of people went for 3 doors.
Yeah.
So that was a tricky. So you always kept coming back to this car. Obviously the Golf was there as well, but because Golfs are everywhere, you just wanted sort of something to be different about it. But anyway, nevertheless, I'll let you talk about that in your video, because you, by this point, you would have done a first drive video, which I'll link in the top right hand corner.
Yeah. But
yeah, everyone, again, thank you for subscribing. Of course, I need help getting to 1,000 subscribers. Need some monetization.
Exactly.
Need those 10p's in my account. But yeah, until next time, guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Aaron at Car Obsession. He's smashing it at the minute, and yeah, help him continue that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
See you later, guys. Have a good one.
Goodbye. Let's just do another speed one for culture, yeah? Yeah, these brakes are good.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.